we look forward to seeing you guys down at Equip Expo 2023, October 17th through the 20th. Guys, don't forget to use promo code Brian to register and save your guys' self 50% all summer long. Get those tickets ASAP. And by the way, we do earn a little bit of a kickback, and that goes right into supporting the show, supporting the podcast, and the YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much in advance if you happen to use our code. And don't forget to register you and each individual that you got to bring for your team. You got to register each person separately.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, super excited about another great guest interview for you guys lined up. We got my man, Chad, joining us here. Chad, how you doing this morning, brother?
I am doing great, brother. I'm blessed. Great to be on the show.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, I had a little technical difficulties, a little snafu, a little miscommunication on my end. And long story short, I thought we were doing a coaching call. And a few minutes into this thing, I said, wait a minute. I feel like we're telling your story. And I'm like, this is going on a little longer than usual. And I was like, are we supposed to be doing a podcast? And you're like, yeah, bro, you invited me to share my story. And I made a mistake, and sometimes things get lost in translation, but nonetheless, I said, hey, if you can wait 5 minutes, let's retool. I want to get your story on the podcast and actually get you on as a guest. So thanks for working with me, man. You've been exceedingly grateful and graceful, I should say. But let's do this really quick, man. Let's take it from the top, because I was 5 minutes into this, listening to you tell this story, and I'm like, I don't think I can help this gentleman just yet, but I was so intrigued into your story. I'm like, this is going good. So any which way, man, really quick. Why don't you take it from the top? What's your background? Where are you coming from, your business name, and kind of get into your story, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And real quick, my name's Chad Sponseller. My company name is Southern Reliable Lawn Care, LLC. I'm out of the Woodlands, Texas. I also handle parts of Southwest Conroe and Magnolia. They all kind of combine at an intersection, and I just kind of work a 6-mile radius from there. But I've loved lawn care since I was younger. I started out in the lawn just like everybody else with their parents, just helping them mow. We never did hire a lawn crew. I don't think we could really afford that as a child. But so we mowed our own lawn, and I figured out really quickly that I knew I loved the smell of fresh cut grass. I love the way, making the yard look nice, also made the house look nice. And I realized that really young that I enjoyed, lawn care very much. At 11 years old, me and a buddy in the neighborhood, we got together, we went door to door, and we found one person that said yes. We found one customer at 11 years old. And it was a $20 lawn. This was back in, what is that? What is that? 2007, 2006, I want to say.
Okay.
I was 11 years old.
Okay.
And we split the $20, $10 each. We couldn't even finish the lawn. We had issues. I think the string trimmer ran out of gas, or, the line. I'm not sure. Something happened. It was catastrophic. I had to have my dad, rush over to help us finish the yard. Kind of let that go for, that was the only time we did it. We did it one time. It was one and done. We realized, it is not that easy to go out there and just cut lawns. So fast forward 2 years, I wanted to give it another try, give it another shot. So I got on Microsoft Word and just typed up this, 1-page quick little, summary that said, hey, my name's Chad Sponseller. I live in the neighborhood. I'm only 13 years old, and I'm looking to mow grass. I might have added a little clip art piece of a mower with grass at the bottom, but, I turned off about 15 of them, and I went door to door. Most people didn't answer, so I would just leave it, slid in the door or leave it on the doormat. And, I had one person that answered around the neighborhood that wasn't on my street, and they said yes. They gave me an opportunity. It was a $25 cut. It was a pretty big lawn. I had to guess now, the square footage was probably, 5,000 square foot. This was, 10 plus years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
And so, my dad never asked for a lick of that money, but not a cent of that money. So I was pocketing $25 on that lawn, and it would take us 30 minutes. And I was like, hey, I like this, So
That's
I picked
awesome.
up 2 other lawns. Yeah. I picked up 2 other lawns on my street, next door and across the street. So I was able to do those by myself. Those were $20 a pop. So I'm making like $65 a weekend or every other weekend at 13. And I just realized like, hey, this is pretty cool. For like at least the summer while I was out of school or while I was going to school, I could do it on the weekend. So it was nice. And I don't know, something fell out. I just stopped. I don't know why. I should have stuck with it. I can't imagine where I would be at today if I would have stuck with it at 13 years old and now, being 28. I can't imagine where I would be at, but I pretty much started working at 16. I started at a CNC machine shop with Mazak, CNC lathes and vertical mills. It was something I never saw myself doing or getting into, but it was pretty cool. I was learning how to code and do all kinds of crazy stuff there, but I was mainly just running machines. They would set it up. I would put a part in. I would run it, blow it off, put it on a pallet, strap it down and load it to a truck.
Wow.
So that was my first job. Kind of crazy for a 16-year-old. I'd get out of high school and kind of go for like an hour or 2 after school during the week.
Okay.
And then they'd open up shop on Saturdays and I get some hours there. But I did that for a little bit and I hopped over to Ace Hardware. Worked there for a little bit, got to learn about, fertilizers, soils, different gardening tools, just by stocking them and helping people load them into the car and seeing who was buying what at what times of the year. And we sold, plants and flowers and stuff like that. So I got to learn a lot there at Ace Hardware. And then I jumped over to a quick lube place, which I won't even mention the name because it was a terrible place to work, but it was a quick lube shop.
Sure.
And I worked my way up quick there, because I guess I had something in me. I worked my way up to assistant manager. They were putting me in management classes to have my own store, and they promised that for a while, and that fell through. So I was like, let me get out of here. I went to a dealership, and I was a customer service advisor at a dealership for a while. So I was in a lot of automotive stuff, a lot of hands-on, tool stuff for a while. And then I found myself working on a logistics job, moving expedited freight for refineries, bigger refineries all around the U.S. And, whether it be a hot shot over the road or air freight, I was moving freight, and it was just, companies had really expensive downtime. So anytime you messed up, it was a big mess up. So
Okay.
a lot of stress there, and figured out I did not like that. I was working there for 5 years, but in year 3, it was 2020, the pandemic hit. They took away all bonuses and overtime. So it took out a big chunk of money away from my income, and it really hit my pockets really hard. And I'm sure everybody was hit that year hard,
Sure.
not to put any sunshine on my, my story, but
Yeah.
anyways, I needed money. So I realized I went back to lawn care, what I knew. And so I picked up one lawn. It was 10 minutes from the house. It was 10 minutes from my rental house that I was living at. And it was $60 a cut weekly. So that's pretty good money. That's $240 a month on a good month. And, that helped a lot, fill my pockets back up, help pay bills, etc. And it was a really small lawn. It was weird. It was really small, but it was $60. I mean, the square footage of the turf was probably, I kid you not, probably not even 1,500 square foot. But
Okay.
they had a lot of shrubs that kind of like covered around the back little fenced in area that had astroturf or like fake turf. So they always wanted those hedges trimmed, and they wanted the astroturf blown off. So they had additional services on top of the mowing is the reason why it was $60 per visit. But that was some pretty good money. I did that for a little bit, and that was in 2020. That's when I kind of created this lawn care business on the side of working full time. And then in 2021, I had moved in with my girlfriend in a completely different town, lost my first customer that was $60 a lawn, and now was in search of, my first customer again, starting from ground zero. And I was able to get my sister, who lived 30 minutes away from me. I was able to get her as a customer, which is crazy. I know, 30-minute drive, but it was somebody. It was, I was getting my reps in. I was, kind of getting my name out there in a sense. And then I actually picked up my second customer 20 minutes from her, which is, still 30 minutes from my house. And I picked that off of an app. I think it was called like Handy Pros.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure if you ever heard of it.
Not that one.
For like handymen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually called like Angie's List or Angie's something now.
I know.
Yeah, they bought them out.
Okay, I know Angie's List. I actually had an account and a profile on Angie's List a long time ago, but wasn't super impressed with it. But nonetheless, but like maybe Nextdoor or something like that these days,
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I might be jumping ahead of myself here, but in 2020, I'm sitting. It's actually 2019. I'm sitting at my logistics job, thinking, I'm kind of not liking this place, looking for an exit, looking for a way out, and I come across, Keith Kelfis, out there in the lawn, giving you a lawn quote, or just, all those awesome videos that he has.
Yeah.
And then I came across yourself. So I've been watching you since 2019, 2020, you and Keith, two of the main, people that I started following to kind of get an idea of how to run a lawn care business, how to quote, how to, I already knew how to, mow, edge, blow, and that kind of thing, but I needed to learn the business side of it. So you guys really helped me out there. Shout out to you guys. I'm sure you guys get that a lot, but you guys really helped me out a lot. So
100%,
thank you guys for that.
100%, bro. I mean, Kelfis is the man, dude. I love listening, watching. I talk to Kelfis still every other week or two, and he's a funny dude, man.
Yeah, no, he's cool. So you guys helped me out a lot. Kind of, I guess, get the confidence to at least branch out. Not full time immediately because that would just been crazy, but at least branch out and get my feet on the ground and get moving in the right direction. So
sure.
2019, 2020, I came across you guys on YouTube. 2020, I had my first customer. And then 2021, I had my sister as a customer, one customer 20, 30 minutes away from the house. They're 20 minutes from each other. So I was in the truck more than I was mowing at that point, but I knew it was something, and I knew, hey, I got to battle it out. So I did those two for a while. And then before you know it, I'm picking up my third and fourth and fifth customer, all part-time. I'm still working at this logistics job all through 2021, and then in 2022. And, you guys gave me some great advice. You're like, hey, start a Google My Business. And that's what it was at the time. It had the Google My Business app. It wasn't on the Google Maps app. And, I created it. They sent you a little postcard in the mail. You verified it with a code. Boom. You're posted on Google. And I just started getting reviews. And I think my first couple of reviews were friends and family that I had mowed for.
Okay.
And, that kind of, got my SEO going, my search engine optimization, which I found out was really important. So that kind of got me on the boards there because there's so many trucks in the truck in my area, Brian, to be honest with you, it's crazy. I'm not sure how many people do you think you see on a day-to-day just driving around your area, like competition? If you had to guess, just a random number.
I mean, quite a few landscapers in my area. It seems to be like the central hub because it's very like kind of commercial, industrial, not only for the businesses that we all service, but everybody's like, if you got an HVAC business, everybody's got a small business suite, where we live. So a lot of commercial in and out. At least 20 guys, man, at least 20 guys a day.
Oh, dude, I see 20 guys probably, and I'm not kidding. I'd love for you, when I get bigger, I'd love for you to come ride with me.
Yeah.
I see probably 20 different trucks in a truck or, stands in a van, whatever you want to call them. I probably see 20 just within my, 5 minutes of leaving my house. There's three at the gas station. There's 5 that pass me on the road out. Dude, there's probably over 100 in my area. I'm not kidding. There's so many houses too. We're a very highly, dense populated area, and there's a lot of competition out there, but
sure,
I didn't let that get me down. I got there, and I've been building my Google My Business. I think I'm at 23 5-star reviews on there. Didn't come easy, didn't come overnight. That's over about 2 years, 2 or 3 seasons. I've accumulated those. The first customer I started out with, it was a 21-inch Craftsman residential mower, and it was probably a 3/4 acre lot. And it kicked my butt. It was probably it took me 2 hours to mow and I was only charging $60. It was terrible, but
that's awesome. Those are the worst.
We all start
Those are the worst. We've all been there, bro. We've all been there. My guy Mark, my employee Mark, he's got a 3-acre site, and he's had to push mow it before. And he's like, before they got a garden tractor, and he's telling me a story about that just the other day. So we've all been there.
Yeah, man. So we all start out somewhere. If you're just starting out, it's gonna be a grind like that. It's gonna be the rough stuff. And so, yeah, I just started accumulating Google, my business reviews, and man, I've probably gotten calls, if not daily, at least 3 calls to 4 calls a week of new customers looking for service. Some of them are one-offs, which I decided this year I'm not offering any one-off services, like no mow for hire, no once a month. It's weekly or biweekly only. And I just moved almost everybody over from biweekly to weekly, just because the grass down here is shooting up over 6 inches within a week. So it's getting crazy. It's getting awesome. It's getting busy down here for sure. I've been mowing since probably March 1st of this year. It got warm a little bit quick. And that's actually when I pulled the trigger to go full time with my business, was March of this year. Something told me the weather would be warmer sooner. So I actually moved up a sod installation job that I had planned for early March, mid-March. I moved that up to about end of February.
Okay. And
actually was installing sod into February. I installed 3 pallets of sod and 5 yards of topsoil by myself in about 2.5 days.
Dang. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I had to go to a backyard. It was a huge backyard, so there was a lot of wheelbarrowing by myself back and forth. There was no Toro Dingo. There was nothing like that. It was the 10 toes down, feet on the ground, moving all that by myself. So I did that.
Yeah.
That was my first job full time this year with my business, so that was a blessing. And I've just been trying to keep it going ever since. My business originally started off, when I was part-time, it started off as Chad's Reliable Lawn Care. Just, there was no LLC, there was no insurance, it was just a truck in the truck. And I had built my, rapport on Google My Business with Chad's Reliable Lawn Care. So I didn't want to change the name too much. So that's why I only changed it from Chad's to Southern Reliable Lawn Care, because I didn't want to get too far away from my original name that people had identified me,
Sure.
for. And just been going after quality. I've never gone after the cheapest price. I would never recommend being the cheapest guy. I've actually lost some customers only due to price. And these guys are just coming in here offering crazy low prices for half acres. I'm talking $40 and $45 for a half acre and a lot of trees. I mean, that's one thing different about my area than most probably is there's so many trees in our area here in the Woodlands. And there's a lot of old trees, big trees, and I think it's almost illegal to cut down a tree here in the Woodlands. I might be exaggerating there, but it's a pretty big deal to cut down trees here in the Woodlands. So a lot of homes have 6 to 8 trees just in the front yard.
Wow.
The trees, most of them are pine trees and, big oaks and stuff like that. And they till the grass, or at least they shade the grass too much. So a lot of people out here, what they do is they make a really big flower bed.
Okay.
In their front yard.
Okay. And
just have a little bit of turf. And that's just kind of what they do to handle the amount of trees and how much, pine needles it's dropping and leaves and all that stuff. So that is something I kind of deal with on a weekly and biweekly basis all throughout the year. It's just, leaves, twigs, branches falling, all that stuff. So, that is one thing I factor in to my pricing, when I'm going out there to quote these homes is, I'm gonna have to deal with stuff like that. And I offer, branch pickup for free. If there's a big old branch in the yard and it's nothing crazy, I'll break it down and, I'll throw it in the back of my truck and I'll throw it away or, I'll dispose of it.
When it comes to running a lawn and landscape business, there's always something to worry about. Are my drivers and crews doing their job? Are my clients happy? Are my trucks and machines safe? How can I make more money? Where can I save some money? With GPS Track It, you don't have to worry about it because our software gives you a level of clarity and control over your business that you've never had. From real-time vehicle and asset tracking and optimized routing to efficiency reports and more, reach your fullest business potential. Call 866-845-1410 or visit gpstrackit.com/BrianLM to get started. That phone number and special link are in the show description. GPS Track It.
How has the business grown, like to where you guys are at today? Like how many lawns are you guys servicing? Because you said you went full-time in the lawn business in February or March, I guess?
Yeah, so it was pretty much at the end of February, and I think I got my LLC back March 1st. So
nice.
I'd gone full-time before the LLC kicked in. But as far as growing, oh man, attrition's a big thing. I mean, it is a kicker, and it's one thing I think everybody should factor in that I didn't think of before I started my business. I thought, once I get this customer, I'm going to have them locked in as long as I make them happy. And, customers move. They look for cheaper prices when they get in a pinch, when money's tight, stuff like that. So that's just stuff I didn't factor in, and I did lose. Man, I probably lost like 5 or 6 customers over the last year or two, but I've gained like 12 back. So it's kind of weird. You lose 1, you gain 2. It's a weird game out here. But right now I'm just around 25 properties by myself, and one of them is some of those are half acres. Majority of them are small residential yards, and then one of them is a commercial that's just under 2 acres.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and luckily the commercial is weekly, and that's a big chunk of change. But yeah, I'm staying busy, and luckily I'm getting calls daily, and adding new customers. And that's one thing I learned from you guys is qualify customers, ask them those questions. They're asking you questions, but ask them questions.
Amen.
Qualify them.
What are you doing to get new customers? We have a lot of guys listening into the show that want to start a business or go maybe full time here in the next year or two, and they're just getting their ducks in a row, which is fantastic. A lot of seasoned guys, a lot of new guys. But what are you finding working for you and your business and down in the Texas area?
Yeah, so what works for me is I've attacked it from all angles. Facebook business page, I've got that going. I try to get in a few Facebook groups on there, but most of them don't allow the business pages. So you got to kind of play with that. Google My Business, the Google page has been huge. Getting 5-star reviews is huge for me, and getting new clients because people, they search lawn care in the area on Google. I think I'm ranking 4th on there. Even though I don't have the most reviews, I'm ranking 4th in my area.
That's great.
So top 5. And, I started a YouTube. I just kind of started, posting little shorts on there, playing with that. And I've gotten some pretty good hits. I think I'm at like 11,000 views, and I've only been on there, less than a month.
That's awesome.
So I'm just playing around with that. Yeah, I'm just playing around with that. And just attack it from all angles. I've tried going door to door, just leaving my business card in the doors without even knocking. I know some people are weird about that, especially out here in the Woodlands. And then also I've done bandit signs. I've bought a couple of bandit signs and placed them all around my areas at major intersections.
Okay.
The code enforcement got me within a week on 3 of them.
They took them or called you?
No, they took them. They picked them up.
Sure.
And one lasted a good month or two right outside my neighborhood where I live. I put it on this main intersection right outside of a gas station, and it stayed there for a couple of months. It was pretty cool. And then one day it just wasn't there anymore. So that's part of the game, though. Bandit signs, look them up. Look into a local print shop that might be able to help you out. And
I was going to say we have
bandit signs.
Well, I was going to say we have UZ Marketing. We just had on the show on Friday and last week Friday, and they're you can get like 100 of them. They say 99 signs for $99, but it's like $3 a sign once you get color and stakes, But it's like the cheapest place to get signs. And I think we have a link in the on our link tree or whatever on Instagram or the YouTube bios. But yard signs, people like poo-poo on yard signs all the time, and I'm like, they still work. Like they really do. And people are like, oh, they're only out there for 2 days. I'm like, yeah, but with 5,000 people that drive by, I literally snap photos all the time of yard signs for different services that we need in the area, for a house, for to sub out to, for like different things. And they freaking work. I mean, they work for me. Maybe you don't like yard signs, but it doesn't mean that other people don't like yard signs as a consumer or as a business owner. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, But any which way.
Yeah, and exactly. And one way or another, they're going to see the sign, whether they want to or not. They're going to be sitting on a red light. They're going to look over at it, and they're going to see your sign.
It's just another impression,
Yep.
That's awesome.
And real quick, just want to tell like a quick story because I know you posted a video on YouTube the other day, like bidding blunder.
Yep.
And I had the same thing happen to me, man. I had a customer call me. It was middle of the day, heat of the day. I told him I could stop by after, a couple. I had 7 lawns I did solo that day, and I'm stopping by at the end of the day to quote him. It's like 5:30 p.m. I'm dehydrated, and when he calls me, he first tells me it's a half acre. So I told him I put him in the ballpark, and when I get there, I know it's way more than a half acre. And long story short, I way underbid the price because I didn't look it up. I didn't look up the square footage on Google Earth. And he ended up only using me for that first service. I honored the price for that first service, and then he let me go. So even when you think you got it all figured out, slow it down, measure your yards, quote accurately on the first one, because I was way under and I was out there for way too long. I didn't get paid what I should have gotten paid. And just want to give a shout out, Keith Kalfis, he's helped me out a lot. Brian, you're amazing. You helped me out a lot. Kevin with the lawn care juggernaut, he's amazing. He's helped me out too.
Yeah.
Johnny with Blades of Grass lawn care down in Savannah, Georgia. He's a cool dude I've been watching for a long time. And then my buddy Nick, he owns Miliano's Lawn Care out in Castle Rock, Colorado. And he's on the come up. So just check him out. And Chopping Blades Lawn Care up in Lubbock, Texas. I want to give him a shout out. He's a cool dude. And he's a solo operator. And I hope the best for all of them. And let's just, go out there and crush it this year.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, shout out to all you guys down in Texas. I got a bunch of guys that listen and follow all across Texas, and super grateful for that. And a bunch of great guys down there. Andrew Martinez has got a podcast representing Texas down there.
Yeah, he represents us huge with that Lone Star. Yes, sir.
You got to get on his show, man. That would almost make too much sense. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I've reached out to him. But I think he's really busy. He's doing a lot out there. So
shoot him an email
in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll catch me on more podcasts, and you can check me out on YouTube, Facebook, Southern Reliable Lawn Care. You can find me on there, and I hope to help you guys out in the lawn care industry, and just keep doing big things.
That's awesome, man. So here's the final question, or one of my final questions or takeaways is if you're down south, do you have to include the word Southern or South part of your business name, or how does that work? Because Southeastern Lawn Pros, Southern Lawn Pros, Southern and Sons,
Yeah, man. So I guess Texas pride is the real thing. Southern pride is the real thing, and we're just take pride in where we're from, and
that's awesome.
I guess I like the the Southern. I don't know. I didn't know who else. I didn't look at other names when I was making the name, so I guess I just what came from the heart, and Southern came from the heart. So
that's awesome.
Southern and reliable, baby.
I mean, dude, it's like
tall grass story.
I was gonna say like noun and adjective, or adjective and noun, like one of those two, and it's not that hard of it's funny, like picking a name can be so intricate and so daunting, but also exciting. Of course, we did a whole chapter in the book, literally about picking your name. We have a lawn care book, 0 to 100K. It's a fun read.
I need to check that out, dude. I promise I got you on that. I've been busy.
Yeah,
I've got Keith's first book. I got 2 of Paul's books, and I will buy your book and read it. I promise you that.
If you don't buy the book, we can still be friends, dude. Relax, it's okay.
No, I know. I'm just letting you know. It's happening. I've actually got some gold blades. Shout out to Ballard.
Yeah.
Brian's 10. I always use Brian's 10 to save that 10%.
Thanks,
sometimes they give you 15%. Yeah, sometimes they give you 15% during certain holidays and certain weird times of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So follow Ballard, follow Brian for that 15% off. But use Brian 10. I got Brian 10. I got gold blades on the way. I just got the notification from UPS. They'll be here tomorrow. So
Heck yeah.
I've got gold blades coming in for both my Skag 30 and my Hustler 54. So
there you go.
I'm excited.
Well, shoot me,
I'm excited.
Shoot me an email. Give me an update on them because I'm going to go slap mine on this weekend and mow my property, and I'm excited about seeing how they work and how they perform. And Rob's been bugging me because he wants to throw them on the Vertex, and I'm like, dude, get in line, bro. I want to try them first, So it's one of those deals. But no, I was just giving you a hard time about the name thing because it's a really important thing. But you're doing it. You're doing it right. It's a little bit better than Chad's reliable lawn care, like you said. It's
exactly.
Little +1, building on the name, but that's all. That's okay. That's awesome. We all start somewhere.
Yes, and and the name might change, for years to come, but that's what it is right now. And if I ever wanted to sell it, Chad's reliable lawn care would be hard to sell. It's
yeah.
Name, so.
Well, at least you figured that out in like your first couple of years versus like year 10 or something like that, like myself. But I'm kind of married to the name. I like it, but we could have went a different direction. But it's all good.
No diss to you, brother. No diss to you.
No. I throw myself under the bus. I'm like, but again, I was in this thing for a decade. We didn't have, let alone a podcast or Instagram or social media. I didn't have a friend that I could lean over to and go, hey, what do you think? But it's all good, man, in one way, shape, or form. But well, cool, man. We'll let's do that right there. We'll kind of wrap it up. Any final things you want to leave these guys? But appreciate you sharing your story. I know things are just getting started, just getting some traction, and I know things will continue to grow for you. Wishing you all the best. But thanks for all the support and kind words, and I'm glad that the content's helping. And dude, it's awesome to see you making some headway, man. But where can people find you? Any final thoughts? And we'll button it up.
Just as far as final thoughts, man, just stay hydrated out there. It gets hot here in Texas. I don't know where everybody else is at listening, but just stay hydrated, man. We're sweating a lot. We're sweating, the main electric lights out, and we need to replenish those to stay healthy and stay going. So just stay hydrated and stay motivated and keep going. And you can find me at Southern Reliable Lawn Care on YouTube. I've got, videos I'm posting probably too often. Brian kind of called me out. I felt attacked the other day on a podcast or YouTube video. He said, you guys might be posting too much, but I do post on there quite often, and just trying to build that up. And I'm on Facebook as well, so you guys can reach out if you have any questions. And, shout out to Brian for everything he's doing for us. And if you see my stripes on my YouTube, that's all because of Brian taught me how. So
there you go, man. That's awesome.
We'll check those out.
back at you, man. We'll keep doing what you're doing. Hey, if you're posting 12 times a day, that's too much. If you're posting 3 times a day, that's full send. So don't sweat it, man. But at the end of the day, man, you do you. If you guys want to post 10 times a day, hey, that's fine too. I don't know how many times you're posting, to be honest with you, but no, it's just some folks, man. They post 20 times a day, and I'm like, dude, like, I can't even see your last.
Okay, no, I'm just doing.
Yeah, I was like, I can't even see your last 17 posts. How are you? I don't know. And then, God bless everybody, man. That's everybody's got their own approach, but then again, I'm sure Gary Vee would say, guys, you got to post 25 times a day, and it's like, geez, oh, Pete, Gary, relax. But if I had 37 people working for me too for my personal brand, I'm sure I could post 37 times a day. But what do I know? Just kidding. I love Gary Vee, but. All right, bro.
We'll be there one day, man. We'll be there one day.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get him on the show. I'm a huge Gary. I mean, Gary Vee's helped me make a ton of money. I mean, both in all my businesses. So he's, I'm just having fun. But no, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to get you on the show, and thanks for being flexible. I super appreciate that, and it's good to capture your story, man. And hopefully it'll encourage the next guy to go out there and make some progress, make some money, and get some new customers and some new clients and grow his business, man. So that's what it's all about. So thanks for taking the time to be on the show.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Brian. Thanks again. I really do appreciate you taking the time out and having me on.
All right, brother. Well, you betcha, man. You have a beautiful rest of the week and weekend. And guys, for all of you listening in, we hope nothing but the best for you guys as well. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. We're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you guys are new, maybe consider hitting the plus button or the follow button on your podcast player app in the top corner. That gets you notified and follows the show. So anytime there's a new episode release, it downloads automatically to your phone. So you got it, in your pocket when you guys are ready to, engage the blades and make that tall grass short, as Chad was just saying, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, and so much more. So, all right, guys. Well, that's what we got. Let's kick it back over to Mr. Producer to wrap this thing up. Hear a little bit more from today's show sponsors, announcements, and all the great things going on in the Brian's All Maintenance and the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast world. And we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
When it comes to running a lawn and landscape business, there's always something to worry about. Are my drivers and crews doing their job? Are my clients happy? Are my trucks and machines safe? How can I make more money? Where can I save some money? With GPS Track It, you don't have to worry about it, because our software gives you a level of clarity and control over your business that you've never had. From real-time vehicle and asset tracking and optimized routing to efficiency reports and more, reach your fullest business potential. Call 866-845-1410 or visit gpstrackit.com/BrianLM to get started. That phone number and special link are in the show description. GPS Track It. Hi, I'm Mr. Producer, and one more thing. If you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you need our free email newsletter. It's delivered 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. Join our mailing list to stay connected to the world of lawn care and get exclusive access to the latest and greatest from Fullerton Unfiltered and Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Don't miss out on this opportunity to stay ahead of the curve and elevate your lawn care game. Sign up now with the link we've provided in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.